Hey guys, so you know about my love for podcasts. I listen to podcasts constantly. I listen to podcasts when I wake up, when I get ready, when I make stuff, cook, clean. I just listen to them all the time. I know you guys aren't too keen about the podcast and might think they're a little weird, but I'm going to attempt to change your mind or at least have you give it a shot. And I have one particular podcast in mind which kind of goes along the lines of this vlog and things we are interested in. The podcast I've really enjoyed over the past year, in fact that it just had its 1-year anniversary, is the JV Club. This podcast is hosted by Janet Varney, who is just so nice and pleasant and cheery and yeah. So what this podcast is Janet pretty much interviews, I guess, different women, and usually these women are in their late 20s beyond. What they focus on is growing up, mainly teenage years. Sometimes they get into the early 20s, early like real adulthood. It really depends on the age of the guest and just their life experiences and such. So I would say, as for the target audience, us in our early 20s, almost mid 20s, which that's terrifying. We are probably on the little higher end of the average target audience, but that doesn't mean that like you can just gain so much inspiration from this podcast. I guess inspiration would be a thing, because you just hear these people talk about funny stories of them growing up. Maybe they were really embarrassing at the time, but looking back they just can laugh, or really serious issues dealing with mental disorders, deaths, drug and alcohol abuse, family issues. It's very interesting, and sometimes I feel like it really helps me just get through the day. Like, okay, this stress I'm feeling is normal. It's just normal. I can make it through this. And look, several people have and become successful in life. So it's a very good, like, if I need some inspiration to listen to while doing errands or such, it's a good pick-me-up, I guess. So yeah, I would definitely check out the JV Club podcast. I will put a link down below. You can also get it through iTunes, which really is the easiest way. Another cool thing about this podcast is they bring up a lot of stuff that happened in their childhood, like things they were into, and while the guests are a bit older than us, there is some overlap where I'm like, oh my gosh, I totally remember that. Also, at some of the episodes they play MASH, and that's always a riot. They have a special JV Club cootie catcher where they will play with the guest and ask the question. So it definitely is a podcast that you kind of look back in retrospect, and also just kind of, it makes you happy. You laugh. I've cried listening to this podcast. In fact, I was on a run and it was like the last mile of my run, and it was a really sad but like beautiful story, and I'm just like bawling while running. Probably got a few weird looks, but that's normal. Check out the JV Club podcast. If you guys listen to any podcast, I would highly suggest that one. Jesse, I will see you tomorrow. Bye! Guys, this weather is so nice right now that I almost can't deal. 60 degrees, and it hasn't been this warm since like August, maybe September. Yeah.